Each and every day, unpredictable events seem to plague our roads, and no matter how hard we try to protect ourselves, driving in some places can be much more dangerous than others. From some of the most intense racetracks to windy dirt roads with steep elevations, here are dangerous roads you would never want to drive on. Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 13. US Route 2, Montana. US Route 2 heads east and west across the northern states of America, and the most dangerous stretch comes in the state of Montana, where it might be best to take a detour and a different road. Montana ranked number 1 for having the worst drivers in the US, and that's probably because it's almost always freezing here. There are many notable narrow sections that drivers must pay attention to at night especially. You'd really also want to look out for bison here, who still call this area home. Number 12. 318 National Highway. Imagine getting on this remote road and having your car break down in the middle of the Himalayan mountains. You better hope you watch some of our survival videos, or you could be in big trouble. This Chinese national highway runs all the way from Shanghai to Zhengmu. It's located on the border of Nepal and China. It's known for its sharp curves and steep inclines, which motorists attempt to maneuver their way through. One infamous stretch of the road would almost make you think the engineer who came up with this was slightly drunk or something. In this photo, we see the part of the mountain drive as motorists get close to Nepal, where there are many sharp line curves which will challenge even the most experienced drivers. It's not uncommon for this road to experience snow or landslides either. Number 11. Most roads in China. China is still a growing country, and the personal automobile is still somewhat of a new idea. Let's just remember that China has over 1 billion people, but only 30% own cars. That's still 300 million people on the streets that are not always properly maintained, don't always have traffic lights, and 700 million people who have to try to stay out of the way. Remember, a lot of those cars are big semi-trucks, transporting things such as coal or other goods. Some mega highways here have as many as 50 lanes. Somehow, they still manage to get quite congested like you see in this photo. Cars can often come to a complete standstill for hours on end. This guy here even has time to do push-ups in the middle of the street while cars are mobile. It almost seems like a tailgate party in the middle of the freeway. Number 10. Passage de Gois. How would you feel about driving down a road that is completely flooded at least 2 times each day? Passage de Gois is located west of Nantes on the west coast and connects the mainland of France with the island of Noirmoutier. It's certainly a challenge driving here, and you probably will be better off taking a ferry ride. The bridge was also built too low, and the tide will completely engulf the bridge, and any cars unlucky enough to be driving at the time will be sunk. Even when the bridge is not covered in water, it's usually covered with seaweed or other debris. Cold conditions will also make it a little bit icy and tough to drive on. Number 9. Shades of Death Road. This kinda sounds like somewhere you may want to avoid. This 7-mile 2-lane road is found in the rural county of Warren, New Jersey, and home to many myths and legends. The large amount of trees in this area basically blocks the sun, and even during the brightest day, you may still need to turn your lights on. The dark forests near the road are where supposedly bandits hide out and sneak up on unsuspecting cars. They then attack the drivers and take their belongings. Angry mobs would then lynch these bandits on the trees in the dark forest. It runs also right past what's called Ghost Lake, which gets its nickname for the ghost-like fog which it gives off. Sound pretty spooky or what? Number 8. The Ohashi Bridge. This bridge is about 1 mile long, but it certainly is one of the most steepest bridges in the world, and it almost looks like a roller coaster. Located in Japan, it connects the 2 cities of Matsue and Saki Minato. It was built in this bizarre fashion so fishing boats could actually cruise underneath without any issues. The 2 cities rely on fishing for their economic growth, so this bridge was important. With the steep inclination like you see here in the photo, you better hope that your brakes are working. Drivers are normally pretty cautious and drive at a slow pace. Number 7. Col de Torini. This rugged mountain pass in France is located in the Provence-Côte d'Azur region and is the stage for the Monte Carlo Rally. It's known for also having some tight turns, and it certainly isn't somewhere you want to go if you still just have your learner's permit. Some claim that it's actually the best highway to race on, but leave that to the professionals. At an elevation of 5,272 feet, and the fall below is normally something motorists don't want to experience. By all means, it's a great place to enjoy a scenic route during summertime, but be more careful during winter. Number 6. Circuit de la Sarthe. Only some of the best sports car racers will get the chance to burn fuel at the race course in Le Mans, France. When too much testosterone mixes with the need for speed, the results can be deadly. Although the course hasn't recorded too many fatalities, one incident made Mercedes actually resign from the racing industry. The Le Mans disaster took place in 1955, and it's been considered to be the worst sporting tragedy in motor racing history. A total of 83 bodies were counted and 120 were left injured. Mercedes felt responsible because of the magnesium alloy that was used to make the frame of the car burn quicker than a furnace. Although it was a horrific accident, many changes have been made. Number 5. Magnetic Hill, India. Also known as Cyclops Hill, this strange mountain is known for its magnetic properties. Some believe that cars actually look like they're defying gravity while they're going downhill. Some feel as though the magnetism is so strong here that the force can actually move cars on its own. The strange phenomenon has been captured on tape in various experiments, and airplanes that fly over it will fly at a higher altitude. It's hard to say how much of this legend is false and how much is real. Some blogs explain how different parts of the hill have more magnetism than others, but it's not the entire hill. Still safe for a drive? Number 4. Sani Pass. Lesotho is a landlocked country completely surrounded by South Africa and has somewhat remained independent. Its geographical location separates it from South Africa and makes it the only nation that lies completely over a kilometer above sea level. In any case, in order to get to this country, one must take a street called Sani Pass in order to reach the necessary elevation. Some have wanted Lesotho to be annexed by South Africa, which will give it access to other parts of the world. While driving up Sani Pass, reaching the top, if you do have clear conditions, consider yourself extremely lucky. Possibly one of the steepest and most crooked roads in the world, the weather is usually terrible here. It could also be closed due to snow in some cases, and you might have also noticed it's mainly unpaved. This is done to preserve the nature in the area. It's not uncommon to see cars that are completely wrecked at the bottom of the cliffs, and it's a reminder that the road can be pretty dangerous. Number 3. Vanz Creek Bridge. Hidden behind countless evergreen trees is an abandoned bridge that measures 347 feet above the ground. You certainly don't want to drive on this one. At one point, this was the second tallest trestle bridge in the US. It was mainly used as an important route to transport lumber from Washington's lush forests. Eventually, when the government decided to protect the land nearby and not cut down the trees, the bridge was no longer needed. Legends have told tales of not only the bridge being haunted, but also the creek down below. At night, there's also been sightings of a woman floating from the bottom to the top. At one point, it was a hotspot for Instagrammers looking to get a cool shot in order to get some likes. Are likes really worth your life? They've also tried to implement no trespassing signs in order to deter vandalism and loitering. Number 2. Daytona International Speedway. It doesn't get the name Speedway for nothing, folks. This is the most dangerous street in NASCAR, and it's been the location that's broken many hearts. Dale Earnhardt, on his final lap, lost control of his vehicle, striking the outside barrier head-on. This is always a possibility though, each time these guys suit up and race, and most are willing to take that risk. Nearly 30 people have paid the ultimate prize for driving on this road. The fastest speed of Daytona was recorded at 210 miles an hour, giving you an idea how much force these 3,350-pound vehicles can put out. Interesting specifications are made to the cars now, with head and neck restraints, but they can only do so much to keep the drivers 100% safe. With some events holding over 100,000 people for NASCAR, these are some of the most dedicated fans out there, and their safety can be at risk as well. And number 1, the Isle of Man racetrack. For over a century now, the Isle of Man, located in the Irish Sea, has hosted one of the most dangerous races on the planet. Also known as the TT, this racetrack is well known for its motorcycle races, which only adds to its danger. Adrenaline junkies and people with the need for speed will compete, and this 37.5-mile-long road could be the most dangerous in all of Europe. Speedsters put on death-defying shows on closed-down public streets while reaching speeds of over 200 miles an hour. An average speed for an entire race here reaches 130 miles per hour. As you can tell from looking at this map, the racetrack covers a huge portion of the little island. As we all know, weather conditions in the UK can get a little bit wet, which certainly adds to its difficulty.